Hello, Physics 1 classes. I thought I'd go through the process of using a Google Sheet so that you can put your data into a graph a little bit easier than doing it by hand. You can see, as far as I just used a random set of data, I called it spring A. The original depth of the spring is 14 centimeters. I have my masses. What I did with my masses, those are in grams, right? Put that in my table. I calculated force, and my force calculation is going to be in newtons. My depth, when we did our data in class, was with centimeters, but my displacement is going to be in meters. And what I did to make it a little bit easier is I copied the information down below, and I said, you know what, I want my displacement on the x-axis, and so I'm going to put that first. So I just used my displacement numbers and transferred them over. And then I've got my force in newtons, and I put those in the y column. I'm going to select my data, all right, and then I'm going to go up to Insert. I'm going to go down to Insert a Chart. Now I'm going to move that out of the way. There's a couple things that I'm like, that's not right. I look at the title, and so I'm going to figure out how to change the title, and I don't want a bar graph. So I'm going to go over here. If you can see data, there's a column chart type, and I'm going to change it. I'm going to change it to a scatter plot, which is down here. Okay, and I'm going to verify that my force, right, my force goes up to 1.0, and that's right there, so that should work. Now I'm going to go to Customize next, and Chart Style. I don't need that. Chart and axis titles. I definitely want to do that. Chart title, right? I don't want depth and displacement, right? I want force versus displacement. And I don't need the units in the title. I'm going to select that. I'm going to go down to horizontal axis. The horizontal axis is displacement. And I'm going to give my units. In all graphs, right, my axes need a unit listed. I'll go up to vertical axis title, and that's my force. I'm going to have that in newtons. Okay? And that's pretty much all I want. If I'm looking at force versus displacement graph, that's great. Force in newtons, displacement in meters, and then I'm going to go, instead of charts this, I'm going to go right down to series. Series is nice. It talks about a trend line. So I'll select trend line. Ooh, looky there. And then its a type is linear, and that makes sense. The trend is linear. I'm going to go down to label, and I'm going to say use equation. And I'm pretty much done, because what it's done when it says use equation, it is giving me the slope intercept form. So my force equals 2.99x plus 0.0539, so that's the y-intercept. Okay, so I've got the slope of the line for my spring A. And that does make something that I'm thinking about. Maybe on Customize I do chart title and subtitle. Maybe I'll say spring A. Okay. And then if I wanted to, I could change some fonts, but honestly I don't want to do that much work. And that looks pretty good, and I'll do one of those for each one of my springs, and hopefully it's a fairly easy process. Hope that was helpful. Have a great 3-day weekend. See you guys on Tuesday. Bye.